Baja 1000 is one of the most difficult races considered in all of North America. There's definitely a lot of risk. I am definitely putting my son out there in a situation that does involve a lot of risk.
Why did we choose the Baja 1000? Because we're trying to figure out how crazy we could get.
It's a complete race out in the desert through all sorts of terrain, all sorts of environments.
The team is the most important thing for this form of racing. If it wasn't for the team, there would be no physical possible way of actually finishing.
I believe train our mind to be able to, adjust and to adapt to whatever comes up.
It's more of a mental game than anything. My only thought in my head is, okay, just drive and get across that finish line.
Team Trophy Light, does anybody copy?
My name's Craig Lumsden, and I'm the team principal of Colorado MotorSport, based out of Larkspur, Colorado. We're out here in Baja, California, in Ensenada, preparing to run the 55th annual running of the Baja 1000. So the Baja 1000, is generally right around that 1,000 mile mark. Last year was over 1,200 miles. This year's just under 1,000 at 830 miles. Obviously the goal is to finish, but also the goal is to do it in the time limit that they're giving you. The time limit that is given in order to truly say, I finished, is 36 hours.
There's no support today. So for us, when we leave you at 70, we have 100 miles to go. You have 90 miles to go on the course. We have 100 miles to go to come up and get to you. And if something happens at 85, I have to come back around and hop in that car and come get you, right? So you have to, today, the next 4 days is all about just chilling, just cruising. I'm doing homework. You'll head out and it becomes increasingly tight. You're going to be running in brush that is about eye level, so you can't see over it when you're sitting down in it, and it's real fun. It's a lot of fun. It's fast. It's looked out. The corners should probably be big, bold, pushed up from all the big trucks and everything. And then
Is the course marked already or no?
so it's marked,
Okay.
but you will find this is not Nevada. Their idea of marking a course is somebody going out there and tying a ribbon on a tree. You won't find much in the way of arrows. You won't find much in the way of mile markers. You won't find much in the way of anything. However, and here's the discouraging part. You're going to go, wow, this really isn't marked that well. And then come race day, none of it's there because it's all been knocked over. People have turned it the wrong way. People have stolen it and put it on their garage wall or whatever. You're looking at arrows that are going opposite directions. And you're like, you have to decide which way do I go. I'm going with the non-faded one, right? So that's why I said you got to follow your GPS.
The pre-run is like we go out there, and we were out there in UTVs, more or less scouting out the course, checking out the terrain, checking out where there's bumps, checking out where their people are going to be, the fans and everything are going to be out on the course. We're getting understanding of what areas are like.
You want to pull this off into your lap. So right now, if you wanted to make a mark, you would hit the flag, okay? you would pick your icon, okay, exclamation point, danger sign, or a fence, or whatever, okay?
Going into pre-run, I had no idea what I was expecting myself to get into. So we got UTVs and we got to drive a majority of the course. Nice because we get to go through pre-run these courses at a slower pace and, you know, be able to make some mental notes and then some notes on the GPS as well. It really, truthfully, it reminded me of a video game out there. It's just like the Wild West, you know? There's nothing, you know? It's just you, the ground, and the sky.
Well, I'm feeling good. Getting a little shaky now. Getting the real deal's about to happen. We're gonna go pre-run the course and start checking things out and making notes. I think today overall we're doing roughly 300 miles, so we'll be in here for quite some time.
We should have about roughly 11 fuel stops this race. The trucks have a range of about 100 miles. So we'll go through whether it's visual pits where they inspect the truck to make sure, you know, nothing's broken or anything. And then the next pit might be a fuel stop where we come in, shut the truck off, and then they fill up the tank and everything. And
So your next stint, you're gonna hop down this road almost exactly a mile,
Okay.
and it's a hard 90 left off of it, and then you guys are going up over the edge of that.
focus is a big role in racing. It's more of a mental game than anything. You got to stay on top of it. You know, and it's tough because I'll catch myself out there in the middle of the desert. I noticed this a few times during pre-running where it's just like, okay, you know, my mind starts to wander off, but you know, I got to stay alert because anything could happen.
Mile away. Yeah, we were just shy of the pit by maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, we tested our luck a little bit. I think the toughest part was between, what would you say, like mile 80?
What's that?
The toughest part, mile 80, what you enter like this, you start climbing up an elevation and all of a sudden you hit basically like a rock yard for the next 20 or 30 miles and you're not going much faster than 5 miles to 10 miles an hour. I mean, you got boulders probably up to your hips that you got to crawl over and you're looking down at fate at the edge of a cliff and everything. The lane's not much wider than, 6 feet kind of thing.
That's crazy.
You gotta be very technical and your mind's gonna be playing tricks on you kind of thing.
Yeah. No, Zach did great today out there today. Really, I could see the confidence in just his ability, understanding the terrain and everything like that. So I was really happy to see how well he was out there doing his thing.
He's going 360 to 475.
100 miles.
He's only going 115 miles, and it's fast.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so all that is to get you a break before you do the 200-mile loop. Okay, that is the only reason why we do it this way. And then he will have a 6-hour break while you're doing the 200. All right, so he's sleeping.
Oh, that's good.
He's doing his deal. Communication will be minimal at best at 360 because he's in a canyon and radio traffic will not go well there. And I'm not being over dramatic. If you can go from 160 to 360 on race day and have a race car left at 360, your odds of finishing this thing triple.
Today we are about 50 miles outside of San Felipe. We're getting ready to go ahead and do day 2 of pre-running the course. Today my dad's going to be doing majority of the pre-running today. This is going to be his section come race day. So I think he's going to be in the car for a little bit over 200 miles today. So it'll be a good day.
Sounds like what we're going to do is we're getting into the switch-off point that we were supposed to get into last night, where I take over driving after the first section from Zach. So this next section is going to be mine on race day. It's approximately 200 miles. I understand it's a little bit rough and a little bit tough, but you know, I'm hoping that we could get through about 6-7 hours, and then I'll switch it off to Zach, and that'll be a day. Shannon Moham is our co-driver. He'll be sharing duties, co-driving for both myself as well as for Zach. He's actually been co-driving for me in the last 2 rally races. He's super excited to be out here experiencing the Baja 1000 thing.
So I'm Shannon Moham. I'm racing with Colorado MotorSports. I road race motorcycles. I've been pretty successful about it, and yeah, I was just blessed to meet these guys and get in the car scene. My biggest role, I feel, is to keep these guys safe from the perspective that I'm in the driver's seat and I'm telling them where to go. And so it's a huge honor to me, the fact that they would have trust in me to tell them that, hey, you need to go left and you need to stay on the gas, and they do it.
Yeah, we saw you guys coming, and then I think we followed you guys for a little bit, and that's when we kind of lost you.
I really felt pretty decent kicking ass like that. So. You did awesome. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can take these or not.
Something like that. I have no idea. Have fun and good luck.
Heard you loud and clear. Got you loud and clear. Just want to make sure, because when I'm transmitting, it's doing something funky.
This is Shannon. I already talked to one of the crew, but we're just short of the 305 and have a flat tire.
All right, so we found our guys. They're at race mile 305. They were supposed to be at race mile 240, and so Aaron's on their way to them now. They're at 304, which means they have to stop. They had to find gas somewhere. There's no way they made it all the way through without refueling. There's no way. So I'm just, first of all, who gives a shit, right? I mean, we're just glad that they're okay. That's number one. Number two, now we have to devise a strategy on how to get in touch with them and a hold of them.
As I was trying to avoid rocks, I literally wasn't. I wasn't going far enough over them or around them, and they were hitting the sidewalls and blowing the sidewalls of the tires out. Getting a flat is, it's something that, you should expect and be prepared for. Because of the terrain that's out there, there's a lot of sharp rocks. There's a lot of situations where, you can't avoid a rock and you're going to hit it at a tremendous amount of speed. I have to make sure that I'm just very aware of my driving conditions and situations. I have to scan far out in advance and bring my eyes back in to see what I'm coming up on, and then adjust my driving line to avoid those situations.
We're doing a loop from basically 300 to 440 today. The first stint from 300 to 360 is going to be Craig. And so we're just going to look at his lines, his vision, where he's staying, and work on no flat tires. Right, Craig?
Shannon and I have about 60 miles before we switch out cars. Here it's going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more rougher, not quite as quick and fast. So I gotta tame down my driving a little bit to eliminate some of the flats and stuff like that. So make a few adjustments on my end, and we're just gonna rock this thing today.
Trust is definitely, a super important thing, in anything in life, and especially in Baja 1000. I can only imagine my co-drivers probably got to have more trust in me or my dad as drivers to make sure that we're not going to be rolling off a cliff or, getting stuck in the middle of the desert kind of thing.
There's definitely a lot of risk, and I am definitely putting my son out there in a situation that does involve a lot of risk. My faith allows me to put Zach in places like this because I can't oversee him in everything that he basically does. I can't, be there to catch him when he falls. He has to learn how to, deal with certain situations. And most importantly, I have to have faith in God to be able to help him use the skills that God has given him in a situation like this. Obviously a very much desert race type of town. Probably don't see a lot of other visitors otherwise, but it's actually really cool. Culturally, it's incredible to see it, just something new and different. We're going to be starting up at mile 680. We're going to skip a section just because it's going to take too long to get to an area to pit and refuel and everything. We're moving up to mile marker 680, and it's going to take us right back into Ensenada, and that'll end our pre-run for the race and everything like that.
Red sauce.
Too hot?
That's spicy, man.
No, man. The spicy? The red sauce spicy or the burrito spicy?
The red sauce. It's been good so far. It's been a lot of fun, and today we woke up in the Valley of Trinidad, and man, this is a small town and everything. Definitely a Baja town, so the locals are used to it, and it's a cool little place and seeing the culture and whatnot. So.
Waiting on it. He had the lid for it. We can mount it on the dash.
super technical. Some parts were super fast. So it was a little bit of everything. So it was really good. Zach did a great job out there handling it. No issues, no problems. It was all very good.
We're going to break this up so that both Zach and I are driving roughly equal portions of about 420 miles each.